Okay guys, so I'm back to give you a one-on-one on my dish. I'm gonna get everything started with my collard greens, so here we go. All right, so flip side. The first thing I do, excuse the fog there. The first thing I do with my collard greens, I soak my salted pork. So if you've seen my other video, you will know exactly what I have here, which is that Smithfield salted pork. What I do is I just chop it up into pieces and I stick them in here. Let me get a spoon quick. So I can show you. And this is what they look like. As you start throwing them in, they start curling up. Sorry about the fog. They start curling up like that. Okay. So I let that sit for about 10 minutes before I throw in all my ingredients. So that's the first thing that I do. And if you see over here, you'll see I have everything ready. I have a 1/4 or 1/3 of cilantro. It's up to you if you want a little stronger flavor of that cilantro. I also have my potatoes. I have my 2 onions. I have my 1/3 of that seasoning with the garlic roast. I have my cinnamon, my pepper, corn brine pepper. I have the red pepper back here, my chicken broth, and we're ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting that lovely, the extra virgin olive oil. I'm gonna put like at least a 1/3 in there, okay? About two tablespoons and a half, 1/3. And if you look over here, you will see that I have my roast beef. I have it broiling with a little bit of salt, and I also put apple cider with the vinegar. I let that rock out just like that before I add any flavor to that. I let it rock out for about 20 minutes before I stick it in. Now wait, let me just do this. Okay, so I also do a twist to my roast beef. After I broil it and I let it season up with all that deliciousness, I stick it into my mini oven and get that nice crisp. So there's a twist to how I do my roast beef and how I cook it, okay? And you guys are gonna see all that in my videos as well. Another thing I mentioned earlier, the cilantro is what goes into the roast beef. I'm sorry, the cilantro goes into the roast beef. Let me do a flip side. This goes into the roast beef, not the collard greens. So I apologize. I did say that earlier. I just caught myself. All right, so those are my oxtails right here. Okay, and I love these pieces. So yummy. Oh my God, oxtails. I love them. And I have my diced ham, Smithfield diced ham, and that goes into my collard greens. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set you up really quick into my here and do a flip side, so that way we can keep moving here and you can see exactly how I do everything. I'm actually using my tripod today. Let's put that to the side. And so I can have my hands free and do this with you guys real quick. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I have already let this rock out for 20 minutes. And so we're going to go ahead and start adding our ingredients. But before doing so, I am going to chop some more of this. And I have a cup of this pork. Okay. And I just simply cut them just like that. Let me just turn this way. I just simply cut them into little dices like that. And that's pretty much it. And you have those fatty pieces too, which is great. Just throw that all in there. It's gonna work out it's gonna mix together very beautifully. It'll work its way through and shrivel up. All right. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in those 2 onions. They're already diced up. I just pretty much cooked through them. Okay. We're gonna do 2 cups of the chicken broth. Okay, that's what I have here. And you're also gonna do about 3 cups of water with that pork, that salted pork, before you add in your chicken broth, okay? And sometimes you might have to use that water on the side just to make sure that everything's simmering good. Once you add the collard greens and everything, you might have to touch it up a little bit here and there with water. You just have to make sure you just pay attention to when you're cooking the collard greens, because sometimes the water simmers and you just want to make sure it has that soupiness to it as well. All right, but only 2 cups of this broth is great with this. All right, so next I'm gonna add in my potatoes. I put potatoes into my collard greens, yes I do. I diced them up very pretty, like this, okay? And those are 4 medium potatoes. They're the delicious Yukon Gold potatoes. Super delicious, goes good with the collard greens. Okay, so I diced those up pretty, like the size of the tip of your finger, pretty much, and that works for me. Okay. All right, so next I add in that garlic seasoning mix, which is this. And I do a 1/3 of that. Okay. And then we're gonna throw in our Smith ham. It's a little bowl, might look big in the picture. It's about a cup and a half. And again, this is for my family size, so yeah, my collard greens has a lot of good stuff in it. All right. Okay, let's keep this cilantro over here. All right. So we have everything in. The only thing we need is our oxtail. All right, and our other seasonings back there. All right, so 2 tablespoons of table salt. Okay. We got our red pepper. This is just simple red pepper from Badia. And I might have to open this up because the holes are, you can fight with the holes a little bit. And this is some good stuff. I've been craving a roast beef, as I mentioned in my last video. And so yes, I'm really gonna sink my teeth into this tonight. I also plan on doing some grilled cheese personal sandwiches for my son, because that's what he wants for his birthday, besides his cake and all that good stuff. All right. So you want to do about 2 tablespoons of pepper. Again, that's for this size. This is for my family size. This is about for maybe, I would say you could do about 10 people with this. Unless you're double dipping and double plating like me and my family do. So I always make a little extra. Things taste better the next day, even more. All right, and then you're going to put 2 tablespoons of that cinnamon. Okay, and it gives it a cute, nice, beautiful look to the texture of the collard greens, and it also gives it a nice sweet kick. And that's my little secret here. All right, so about 2 tablespoons. All right, and we're pretty much ready for our bag of collard greens. So this is the kind that I got. It's Baker Farms, triple washed, and this is the one that I got. Just got a regular bag size that works for my family size. Works perfect for this size. And then you just throw everything in and let it rock out. Don't forget we got those oxtail bones. Okay, I like the leaves to get into the pot a little bit before I add the oxtails, just to get the pot going down a little bit with all the stuff that I'm adding in, okay? So that's why I do it that way. All right, so let's find my spoon here, right here, okay? Yeah, I just push, like make an opening in the middle, push the collard greens around the pot, nice and pretty. And then the oxtails right in the middle. All right. So I wanted to do, again, I wanted to do a one-on-one with you guys because this is a good dish that this is my own. So like I love doing my one-on-ones and showing you my recipes, okay? All right, so let's get to it. Let's throw those babies in. Look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, so lay them right in the middle. And I have about 7 to 8 pieces here, along with little bones. That, you know, these little guys. Okay, because everything falls apart when you take it out and clean it, which I love. So I got some really good pieces at one of my favorite stores, favorite grocery store. So I was so happy that I was able to find the perfect pieces. And I'm going to give you an up close in a minute. So that's it. That's all you have it. So let's take it down here easy. All right, flip side. All right, look at that. So again, as I was mentioning earlier, you want to make sure that you have a cup of water next to your pot. So this way, as it simmers, you might have to add more water, but don't do the extra, because I've seen people put like more chicken broth in it. You already have tons of flavor in there. If you're doing this dish that I'm doing, my very own dish, no extra chicken broth, just keep adding water if it does, you know, simmer to it looking a little dry. You want to keep it nice and moist. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and throw in this cup of water. It's perfect. Okay, and we're gonna let this rock out for about an hour, and then we're gonna move along to the roast. Can't wait. There you have it, your girl. All right, let's get a lid on it, and we can keep it moving. Simple things in your kitchen that taste so good. All right, so as I was saying earlier, you definitely, if you want to do your roast like a nice texture, because the meat is a little tougher, always go for that broil it with salt, make it nice and tender before you add in all those seasonings and ingredients, and always hit the oven with that roast beef as well. So like I said, you have to cook with love differently, play with your food so it has that good flavor, that good taste that you don't want to miss, and that great bite. All right, catch you in a minute.